JOLIEN Vermeylen is flying the flag for Belgium on the world stage. Crowned European Sprint Champion in Melilla in July, that win came fresh from a career-best WTCS finish of 4th in Hamburg and silver in Tizzy, and all in the wake of her first World Cup gold in Tongyong at the end of her first Olympic campaign late last year. It's almost time for the standard distance European Champs in Istanbul as well, so welcome JOLIEN. How are you and where are you?
Hello, Doc. I'm very well. I'm tired at the moment because we are on the training camp here in Torremolinos. And this is our first half rest day because, dear Lord, we needed it. And we chose to go to Torremolinos, just like you said, because the European Championship Olympic distance is coming. And that's going to be in Istanbul, so it's going to be hot. So that's why we chose to go to Spain. It's hotter here, and I hope we can prepare for the conditions in Istanbul. I think I recover well during races, but I'm not a hero in recovering during trainings. I don't know. I feel like I'm often so tired and I need sleep and I want to sleep more and more. So I'm very happy with my half rest day. After this, we're going to Butterfly World.
That's what you do on your half rest day. You go to Butterfly World and completely just chill out. Is that?
Yeah, I hope so. I have high expectations.
Oh, not too high. Or butterflies your thing anyway.
Yeah, there was also a Crocodile World. I also like Crocodile World. Maybe that's for later.
Excellent. Who are you with out there? Who is coaching and who are the other athletes?
Well, my coach is here. Stan Lieven is his name. I don't think a lot of people know him, but he's been coaching me now for 3 seasons already. Like, I started coaching me the season I did my bronze medal at the European Cup in Lieven. So that was a good start. That's when I thought, hey, this might work. So that season he started coaching me. And then here with 2 other guys, like Wout van Luffelen, he's an under-23 athlete. And Yari Stappard, he's under 18, so there are a lot of age gap. But they're 2 nice boys to train with. They're also both stronger than me in each discipline, so it's good that they don't try to kill me every training. Like yesterday, we went biking and they had to wait up the hill. Or when we do swim set, they're always a little bit faster, and I try not to get annoyed by myself because I want to be fast too. But still, then I think, yeah. It's okay. It's nice to be around them. They're a good companion, and yeah, I'm happy that they wanted to come here with me. So we're 4 of us in an apartment.
So we tried to get you off the back of Melilla for a little chat, and then obviously that segued directly into Super Tri, and things were going crazy there for you and crazy well. So this is the moment to look back on that, I guess, that little period. Yeah, and Melilla that was a crazy freaking course. One of the most beautiful I've ever seen. Surely, I don't know, you must have just been hankering to break out the Lilo and...
Yeah, and also, it started at the swim already. It was is it a bay? Is that what it's called in English?
Funnel between the rocks, right?
Yeah, all between the rocks. And there were also, people standing on the rocks. So I think also for them, to watch the swim, I think it's great when it's not very often that you can see the whole swim. And from such a view, from such a place. So, and such clear water, and I loved it, yeah. And on the bike, next to the beach. So, a lot of wind though, but for the rest, no complaints about that. And also the run, the very end of the run was through sort of a castle. It was very, very steep and uphill, but, and a lot of cornering. But it was very special to end with, and also to run to the finish line through, what is it, sort of tunnel?
Yeah, almost a sort of drawbridge entrance into a castle or something. I don't know what the heck it was.
Yeah, and also for the crew, who will come out of the tunnel? I think it's special to see. Yeah, it was great. It's also good that not every race had such steep uphills in the end, because it's very hard. There was a lot of suffering there, I think, if you have to sprint there.
But yeah, and going into that particularly, were you, off the back of that career best in Hamburg,
Well, no, I do think the girls that were in front of me, they were still stronger. And I also think like I said, for me, that was the fastest run I ever did. And I could not run 1 second faster. That was all I had. I left all I have there in that race. And in the end, when you could see, for example, Cassandre and Bed, they could still accelerate and battle each other. So I think like for them, it was maybe a little more, I think they did run hard, I think, but it was more tactical for them maybe, as in to accelerate in the end and sprint each other off. And I was already dying in the back and trying to hang on to my fourth place and defend that with all I had. And I was very happy that I succeeded, because the WTCS before that, Alghero, I was 9th, and that was my best before that. So yeah, and I actually was thinking about doing a 70.3 maybe this season after European. But I talked to my coach, and we were saying, okay, we're gonna do that, except if Hamburg is really, really well or exceptionally good, then we will do Karlovy Vary and see if we can like still have a good WTCS ranking, because that means that we're making progression on that point. And now Hamburg is good, so I'm not gonna do the 70.3. Which I like Karlovy Vary. It's such a nice city, but I also would have loved to do like a little longer distance, just for fun. I'm not sure if my talents are there, to be honest, because it's a lot of solo biking, and we all know that's not where the talents are. But yeah, I think if I train on that in the winter, I don't know, you can only become better at it. No, maybe we can eliminate weaknesses.
Well, I was going to say, like, you're one of the athletes that feel like wears your heart on your sleeve, whatever part of the race you are in. The poker face is perhaps not the strong suit yet. I was thinking back to that Rome race where you were kind of yo-yoing off the back and on the bike there, and actually even in Tongyong, that run, watching that, we can kind of feel every ounce of effort going in, and it's good to watch, but it looked painful.
Yeah, like the quote, like, even if I can stay silent, my face, you can read the subtitles on my face. And yeah, I don't have a poker face. I think I will never have it. Yeah, but maybe that's also good, because like if I don't like something, you will know it, and if I'm into something, you will also see it. But maybe for a race, I should practice poker face. But indeed, Rome last year, I remember like I crashed. The last race I did before Rome in the rain, I crashed, and Rome was raining, and I told myself like, you can be scared, but you must be brave. Like, just go. And right before the uphill, someone in front of me crashed again. And I got so scared. But I wanted to keep biking. So they crashed in front of me, someone crashed, and I tried to close the gap again to the front, which I did. I was very proud of that, but I could not stay in the peloton because I was too scared. So then I told myself like, okay, you can leave a gap in the corners, but for example, every time that it's a straight line, you bike as close to the peloton as you dare. And every time that we do a lap, we bike a little bit closer, for example. That's what I told myself. Like every time a little bit closer, and just, okay, if this is not my best race technically on the bike, then that's good, but at least I will learn something out of it. And in a few races time, I will be able to bike in peloton in the rain. And that's also, I think, what we saw in Yokohama. It rained there this year too in May, and I don't know, in the beginning I think it was still pretty good, but from the moment the peloton became too big, something inside of me like kind of blinked, and I was like, okay. But I try to stay with them, and I try to bike as close as I can. And I've started like at home to do like some turns in the parking lot, and also when it rains. So I think we're getting there. Like to do a little more technique in the rain, and yeah, just to be confident and step by step.
These are the things, these are the reasons why we need mic'd up. We need you mic'd up in the peloton so that, because, you know, it's sort of, without knowing that the backstory and the crash in the previous race, it looked like when the pace was on, maybe you were sort of dropping back, and then, but it was a concerted effort with safety in mind. But these are the the little backstories that we don't know because we need the microphones hooked up to you to just be able to go.
Yeah, like to be very clear, in Yokohama, I was getting dropped because not for everybody listening this, it's not a good idea to race like that. Like, please stay in the peloton.
It's exhausting.
But it's exhausting, yeah. And if they accelerate in front, like, you might get dropped. But yeah, it is what it is. And I think that's a fun thing about triathlon. You have 3 sports to work with, and maybe 1 goes good or 2 goes good, but you can still work on the 3rd one. Yeah. So that's fun. I think I also started biking like at 22, 23, like quite late. So plus all the technique, it's
yeah. So I was going to ask, was it a you obviously swimming background, right?
Yeah.
That's what. So yeah, your first races weren't until 2017, in your early 20s.
Yeah, I think I did my first triathlon, I think, at 22. It was after I was on a holiday in Corfu with my family. It was like August, so swimmers have the month off then. And I borrowed the Brownlee book from a friend, like Swim, Bike, Run, and reading it, I was thinking like, I want to try that too. And I don't know, apparently I had running shoes there or something, or maybe I went running on my sandals, which is also possible. Because I went for a few like very easy runs there, and that summer, at the end of summer, I did my first triathlon because my dad saw that happening, and like he was like, "Oh, we might want to get you a bike," and it was, I don't know, a little less than €1,000 bike. Didn't matter. It had to be red. It could be cheap. It could be bad. It had to be red. That was only, and the good red, not ugly red. Yeah. And I did a triathlon then at the end of August, and it was so fun. But then I decided to swim for 1 more year. I think that was in 2016. And then at the end of 2016, I started to do triathlon, but first, really for fun, because I remember some clubs, Belgian clubs, talking to me because they knew I was a good swimmer. I was a decent swimmer, and then going into triathlon, at least I could do one of the 3 disciplines. Yeah, and I told them I just want to do something for fun. Not gonna train hard. I don't necessarily need to win races or, I don't know, get a super high level. I just want to do something for fun. Yeah, and that escalated, but I'm still having fun, so that's going good. It's going good. It's going great.
Yeah, I mean, decent swimmer. You're sub 9 minute, 800-meter freestyle. That's very fast. I mean, so were you national, international level swimming?
I went to the European Junior Championships, and I could have gone to the European Senior Championships twice, but I didn't go because I had other things to do. I also could go to the Junior Worlds, but I didn't feel like it that summer. I think that's what I said to the head coach.
It was like a teenage thing, was it? Like little.
I liked racing, but I also think some years after swimming a whole year, and when you need to do a championship, that's for example in the end of August, then I knew that for me, if I had to train whole August all by myself, in swimming, that was mentally very hard. I did it once and I experienced that it was very hard. So that's why I decided sometimes not to do that, because
the world champs at the end.
Yeah, it was I think in Lima that year, the junior world champs, and I decided not to do it because I knew that if I did that, I might lose the joy in the sports, and for me it was not worth that. And in the end, the head coach from Belgium, he said, "I think for you that was a good decision to make." So it was very honest. And I've always liked to train with my group. And yeah, but like also in swimming, now I do triathlon. Like I love to swim with my group. And I can run alone. I can bike alone if I need to. Like I prefer the biking company, of course. But like swimming alone, oh, it's not that fun. It's way more fun with other people around. And you can't even talk. You're all just blowing bubbles in the water. It's way more fun.
The knowledge that other people are up as early as you are.
Yeah, like they're suffering too.
The shared suffering is, yeah.
Yeah, but I was a breaststroker, which is not very useful in triathlon. And I could do some medley, but my backstroke was really not good enough. Yeah, but I got trained very hard when I was young, and that's why the freestyle, like you said, was also quite good. Like we did a lot of meters already in a young age. So yeah, but I wasn't a pure freestyler or something. It was more of a breaststroker. But I didn't like breaststroke, and that's why they let me swim medley and other stuff too.
And yeah, taking an August off to go to Corfu and buy your red bike, and the rest is history.
Yeah, things changed. So that was very nice. Also, like in Toronto, that I was in the Brownlee team. That was great, because like I was thinking, like,
get him to sign the book for you.
Oh my God, I brought the book and I did ask him to sign it too, but I never had the book when Johnny was there. So I was like, God damn it. I need to bring it to Jersey, the book again. But it was so great to be with him. And I was thinking, like, if you never made your book, it's possible that I would never have been here. Like, this is great to be in the same team as him. Who would have thought, like 9 years ago when I was reading my book on a holiday, that was so great. And
at
also,
what point did you feel comfortable enough to tell him the story? Like, were you said first time you met him, this is what happened, or were you like, okay, play this, bide your time?
I think Tim Don, he knew, because I told him when he asked me to be part of the team, and I was like, yeah, this is great. And like Johnny, I think I told him like at dinner or at breakfast or something. And his reaction was also very great. He said, is it true? Is it true? Like it made his week, he said. I was like, oh, it made your week. But yeah, it's great. Like how something, it's not small making a book, but how it can change an entire life. Like it changed mine, and I think that's great. And then also, like, a few days later, I found the gut, like, to ask, like, hey, in the Reckon, like, if you're ready with the bike, can I maybe, like, do a few laps in your wheel? And he said, like, yeah, no problem. And I thought, maybe he will forget, or you never know. It's the next day was a Reckon, like, maybe he will forget, or he will be busy with other things. But he thought of it, and he bikes next to me, and it's like, hey, do you want to do a few laps? And I was like, yeah. And oh my God, I called Stan afterwards and I told him, like, I was with a kid with a lolly. I was a 5-year-old with a lolly. I was so happy.
But that's really super cool. I mean,
it was epic. I loved it. And yeah, but also the whole team, like also Alex, and like they're such good athletes and still so normal, you know? They don't feel better than anybody else, and I think that's great in triathlon. They're just person. I love that.
Did that environment, or that I suppose the broader environment, that event, help raise your game? Do you think? Do you feel like you stepped up as a result of what was going on, or just took your opportunity when it came?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but it might have helped. It might have helped, because I think, like, I was very well prepared, not only because I did such a good bike fan, but also, for example, Tim Don was our team manager, and he gave like very good instructions in the team briefing that we had before. There were like papers laying in front of us and pen, and like, I don't know, some athletes were like not doing anything with it, or drawing flowers, and I have 1.5 pages just written down with this advice. And I was reading it before the race and I was thinking, oh, I forgot this. This is a good idea. Or like, yeah, just the small things. And I think, there are a lot of athletes in our team that did Super 3 already a few times and they have a lot of experience. So I might as well learn from that. And also just credits to my roomie. I was in the room with Rosa Maria. And she's a great person to be around. She's such a good roomie. So yeah, but there are a few athletes actually.
Did you know her very well before that?
I did know her very well before that. So there are a few athletes that I know that I can room with that I really, really love. But with Rosa, no, I didn't really know her before. So I was thinking like, not like I was happy to meet someone new, but also like, you never know what it's gonna give,
Mm-hmm.
But it was great. Yeah, I think next time I'm gonna request her. Can I please sleep with Rosa? Yeah.
And Tim, obviously, I mean, you got the short shoot right at the end there, so that was the reward. Yeah. He saw you doing your homework. He was like, "This, in my advice, I'm gonna get. This is what's gonna."
I'm not sure if that had anything to do with doing my homework, but yeah, I was happy when he said that I had the short shoot. I also think maybe in this case it was the best decision, maybe because without the short shoot, I don't think I could have won, or at least it would have been way more difficult. But yeah, I was happy I got it. And it was also, I was thinking about after the second race, I was thinking, because I got one, but also Cindy got one, and I think it was Jessica who got one too. And I was thinking, I hope they don't mind. Like, of course, they would have wanted the short shoot for themselves too, I think, but they were mad, or they were, oh, of course, it's not like I took it. But I was also thinking of them, like, I hope they're okay with this. And to be honest, I didn't ask them in the end, which is not very kind of me. Should have, we didn't talk about it.
The debrief after.
Yeah, there was I think the day after we had an event, like we could give the medals to the age groupers who are finishing. It was very nice. So I don't know. I could have asked them then, I think. Maybe, there were also a lot of medals to give though. But I hope they're mad. I don't think they are. They're great girls, so.
Yeah. So like, I guess, yeah, the Brownlee's being one big source of inspiration for you. And coming through, in the late sort of 2010s, and that like block of Claire Michel and Valerie Bartholomew and obviously Martin van Riel, Jelle Heens, like they had like a vice-like grip on starts and the mixed relay team and so on. So how was it for you coming through with that kind of ceiling already there, in terms of like opportunities, and also their just willingness to take you under their wing a little bit?
I think in the beginning, like I told you, I didn't plan on becoming good at this, or I really did not plan to be a professional. But yeah, things escalated. And I think I started thinking about more than just recreational triathlon, also because of them, because they did such good results with the relay. And to be honest, we didn't have a lot of reserve people. Like Belgium is a small country, and we don't have a lot of athletes. Like they're working on it, because now there's like an under 18 working and an under 23, and like, so I hope in a few years there will be like a legacy and a dream of more athletes. But at that time there weren't a lot of athletes. So I think like one time I could go to Abu Dhabi, for example, as an alternate, as a reserve for the relay. But Valerie injured herself and I had to start. And I was so not ready, because I also could start the individual race there. And that's at that point I thought I was lost. by the way. So I got
Well,
the
wasn't that
applause.
like, yeah, was
I
it
got applause for
2019 or
I
2019?
think so. 18 or 19, I think. Yeah. Like I was 20. After 50-meter swim, though, I was first. You must look at the video.
Bam.
I had a good start. Then, I did like outside of the buoy because I didn't want to take the inside. It was too much of a fight. Got dropped out of every bike group, and then I think I had one of the slowest run times, but I didn't get lapped. And I got lost and I got applause. But I mean, without them, I would never have been there, for example. And that's when I realized, like, oh my God, there's still so much more progression to make. And also that I really loved what I was doing. But I was also working at the time, like I was a teacher. So it was hard to combine my sport with the job that I had. But it was because of them. And they also taught me a lot of things because I never traveled a lot before doing triathlon. So in the beginning, like I was clueless. Also, one time it was Abu Dhabi another year. I had to guide the way to the briefing, for example. And I can tell you, when you exited the hotel, the briefing was 2 hotels to the left. So it's not rocket science. I had the map and I watched everything. And okay, Claire said, okay, I'll show us the way. And I go out of the hotel and turn to the right.
Everyone just grabbing hold of your rucksack. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but like, I think in the beginning, they must have thought a few times, like, oh my God, what is she doing? Not only during races, like, but also like with stuff like that. But yeah, Valerie and Claire, they were very patient and also making me grow not only as an athlete, but I think also as a person. And I'm very grateful for them. Also, like, I talked to Valerie after Hamburg, for example, and I still love hearing her because she's a great personality. And I just love to have her around. And also Claire, she is now the technical director of we have the Flemish and the Wallonia Federation. So she goes to races with us and still I can learn from her. She has so much experience and yeah, she's patient, and I think she makes sure that we know what to do and that everything is planned, and she knows what you need as an athlete, and I think that's very valuable to have in your team. So I'm very happy with the team that we have now, and yeah, I hope that a new relay team can grow in the next few years, because I'm the only one of the old guard and I was the newest one coming in. So yeah.
It's a bit of a rebuild, I suppose. You played a big hand in helping us select the intro music for Team Belgium.
Oh, mais la patate. Yeah. It's a known song in Belgium, yeah. But it was also, I thought, well, that song makes very clear from which country we are.
Totally. Can you give us like the official translation of what "on met la patate" means? Like,
I don't think there's an official translation for it. Like,
does it kind of mean what I took it was like, give it the full potato, like go all in?
Yeah, well, if that's an expression in English, give it full potato. Is it an expression?
Definitely not an expression.
Well, it's also not really an expression in Flemish, but I think in French it is. But it's like, come on, here we go. Give all you have. Yeah, I'm gonna patat. It's a little bit like hammer down.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything, I think, but it's clear what we mean with it.
All right. So it's full potato for you to the end of the season. Full Olympic distance potato. This is what's happening. And there's also, it says in there, give me extra stamp. SHTAMP. Similar, like no specific.
I think give me extra stamp, and then like the music started going harder. So I think that's what you mean.
Oh,
extra.
Give us some bounce.
I think so, but I saw them live the week after Toronto. I went and they played their song and I was like, oh, this is great.
So that's like, he's called Average Rob, right? So anyone, if you're listening, just look up Average Rob on Met La Patate, and that is the national anthem for the Belgian mixed relay team now. And it's all Jolene's doing.
You're welcome. Oh. It's a Belgian phone.
But it's good to, so, taking the mantle of spokesperson for the team. You always state, in your post-race interviews and even the way you race, you seem like a very kind of outspoken personality. You like to, just share your joy out there on the course and express yourself, right? Is that fair to say? Like,
I think like do it with passion or not at all. Like, yeah.
It's a good motto.
And poker face is not an option or often not. I will work on it though for the races. However, sometimes I think like this might have been a bad idea. Like when I accelerate or when I don't have the best tactical ideas during the race. So yeah, sometimes I still need to think of that. For example, if Varos to run in front the whole time, and I know like there's wind coming, like, oh yeah, I just want to run fast. And then in the end, I thought, well, that might not have been so smart. But yeah, I think maybe there's another time to be tactical. I will learn.
But yeah, I guess, specifically thinking about like some of your more engaging post-race interviews, I guess, you're someone that people look forward to hearing from because they just never know what you're going to say, I guess.
Is it? I also think like, maybe I should think about what I'm going to say before the interview, but it's only after the question that's coming. Like, and then my head starts going and I'm like, sometimes I should think before I talk, but then it can also become pretty boring, And like if everybody says the same, I just want to tell what I feel, I think at that moment. And yeah, you will know it. I will tell you. I will tell you how it went. The whole story.
So was that like, to bring it back to the Paris situation then, was that kind of what happened there? Was it like someone just thrust the microphone in front of your face and before you knew it, it had kind of escalated? I mean, here in the UK, for example, you are in the Daily Mail, and if you're in the Daily Mail, that means things have escalated to a level.
I think things escalated, but also what happened in Paris was because the water quality of the Seine, like some swim fans had been cancelled, and in the end we could race. But we had a lot of questions about the Seine going on before, and they kept going and going and going. And I think like I never had media training. Like now, I think last year, 2 years ago, they gave me one, like half an hour of media training. And I'm very grateful that in the end there was not a test because I think I would have failed it. And they kept asking questions about the Seine, and in a moment where I was like at ease and like concentrating, I could like swim through it like the other athletes and try like to avoid them. But right after the race, where like I crashed, I was in pain, like lost my drink bottle. I didn't have a good race. I wanted ice. I had a doping control afterwards. I was like, fuck it. And then they started to ask questions, and I think I didn't have my guard up. But also they twisted my words because I never told them, for example, that I preferred to swim in Coke or in cola. They asked like, what did the water taste like? And I thought, this is a stupid question. So I respond with, well, it wasn't Sprite or cola. And they quoted things like, I wish I swim in cola. And I was like, no, that's not what I said. Or I never said that I felt things or, They just twisted a lot of my words. Like, what is it like jumping in the Seine? And then I say, it's like, you shouldn't think about it too much. Like, I meant like, just do it. And they said, I never wanted to think about it ever again. And I was like, that's not what I said. And I think it came like already the Belgian newspaper changed my words a little bit. But like small nuances, like the thinking about, like, it's a small nuance, but they changed it. And then other papers took it from other languages and they also changed it and change after change. And in the end, I was, I think French newspaper used the word agaste, as in I was very mad. And then I say, I was joking about Coke and Sprite in the interview. I was not mad. I was in pain. I was tired. I had a doping control and I wanted to go away. But I was not mad. To make me mad, you must like really, really, really try. And then you will know. You will know when I'm mad. But they changed my words so hard and it escalated so quickly. And I felt pretty bad afterwards because I didn't even say those words. So yeah, that sucked. But then in the end, I think, well, yeah, everything flies over. And I think the people that really know me, they know that I wouldn't say such things, or at least that what I say would be true or what I felt like.
I mean, did that make you mad? What does make you mad? Did that like the whole way that sort of escalated must have been
It
pretty
made me
annoying.
sad.
Yeah.
Like I really cried for it after the day afterwards, because like that's not the propaganda that you want, like not for yourself, but also not for the sports or for the games. But also what kind of hurt me, like, was that some other athletes I heard like, oh, this person said that Yol is such a, what is it, an exaggerator, and what he says is not true. Like I heard someone told me that another athlete said that behind my back, and that kind of hurt because I'm not gonna name people, but I was like, yeah, if I would have said that, it's true, but I did not say that. So you see me for something that I'm not, and that's what I did not like,
Mhm.
you know? Yeah, and also like people sending hate messages, as in, so much money for cleaning the river, and it's still not good enough for you.
You're kidding.
I think that I threw Instagram off for a few weeks because it was like people sending messages. I was like, yeah, on social media, people can apparently say whatever they want.
Or get angry about whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, but well, they can be angry about it, but I think journalists should check their sources. If you don't check your sources, then please don't write an article. But yeah, it happened, and I think maybe things like that will still happen in the future. I hope not. But now I also know, like, I have a few journalists in Belgium that I know and that I like working with, and I know that when they make an article, then they will not look for sensation, but they will look like for the true version of it, and just write it because they love sports, and not always the same sport, but also like a smaller sport like triathlon. And I love working with them, and yeah, I hope I can go to Malay and then give a nice interview to them,
Definitely.
and not to the other one. Voila.
Do you remember the feelings post Paris? Where was your head? What was your takeaway? Were you trying to like push it to one side and move on? Did you want to keep certain things as fresh as possible for as long as possible, just to know as a sort of reminder for what the next 4 years holds as well?
Well, I think right after Paris, I got home, and I know that I was very happy to be home. And I wasn't sure in the beginning, like, if normally when I'm home, like I'm often abroad, when I'm home, I see a lot of friends and family, and I try to catch up with people. Now I wasn't sure if I wanted to see person, that was what I needed, or if I just needed some me time and some personal space. Until a friend asked me a message like, "Are you home now?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, I'm leaving my grandma's now. She lives 10 minutes from me. Like, I'm coming to you." And that was so what I needed. Like I could just talk to her, like, about the games, but also just about all the other stuff. She brought her baby. Yeah, it was just what I needed. And after that moment, I was like, yeah, I need to see people. Like, I love to be around people, but like, I have a battery. Like, I cannot be around people all day. But that's what I needed. And also, since the season didn't end, because I still had like grand final Europeans and a few French Grand Prix, like we made a race schedule. I had a few Grand Prix, like because it's hard racing, but also fun. Um, and then like a few other races, like Europeans and the grand final. Um, and in training, I noticed like in the run, I could not do like the very, very hard sessions that I could do before the Olympics. I could not do them anymore. It's like, how can I describe it? Like they would give me a set and it looked like a tower, and I could not get over it. I could not climb it step by step. Like after a few K, I was done, and I don't know how it comes, but I also told him honestly, like I cannot do that right now in the run. Um, so yeah, it's useless to give things to me that I cannot do. So we just made the sessions a little less heavy, and we adjusted it to what I could do at that moment. And I think that's maybe at the end of the season there were good results, but also like little less results. It wasn't all very well, but still very okay, because he didn't get mad. Like it was hard. But I think the most important thing is also doing the French Grand Prix and still doing some races with the team, is that I kept having fun.
And also, I guess,
In
seeing
racing, yeah,
the people that you were in Paris with, right, in a very different environment, in a somewhat less or lower stress race environment. So you can then talk about that totally, obviously, that feeling of, right, I just want to shut my door and just not be around people, after being around more people than you probably ever have in a race situation, like in something like the Olympics. And then with your friend Prue, talking about it and externalizing it is also very healthy. But then, yeah, being back around some of the people and being able to share back into that experience must have been really important.
Yeah, it was nice. Well, I didn't see Martin or Jelle like Asper, because they went doing the long distance, because they were not at the grand final, I think, or the Europeans, but I heard from them sometimes I hear from them. But yeah, it's just nice to be around people when there's less stress and just talk about it. And I wanted to make sure that I kept having fun in what I was doing. Like, even when there was like a more difficult period in some trainings, like not all of them. It's not like I did not want to run hard or swim hard, but just some sets that, for example, we had one swim set. I don't remember what it was exactly, but in the beginning it was set like at the limit of what I could do back then. So probably now it would not be a very hard set, but still. And after a while, we got some extra rest during the set. And that's what made me like being able to do the whole set, to maintain and I told Fan in the end, like, I really needed that few extra seconds just to get myself over it and to finish it. And he was like, yeah, I realized that would make a big difference, just that small thing. And I was very grateful for him just to see that and do it and not be mad, because it could have been a very bad set, but it was good in the end, just because of a small adjustment. And I think, yeah, that what I was very happy with. And I don't know, like for LA, it's not like I'm holding on to memories for LA. Like I think I'm a little sad that the games didn't go the way I wanted it, because I think I trained hard for it. I think like everybody else. And I was in a great shape, like not sick, not injured, like going into the games, I had a very good, I was ready to go, you know? But I also think the good thing in triathlon is there are a lot of races. We have World Series, we have World Cups, we have championships, like I say, Super Tri, T100. We have so many things to explore. And I can choose to be a little bit, resentful again. Games didn't went the way I wanted. Happy crap. Or I can just make sure that I keep progressing as an athlete and even if I don't want, like, I love doing the short distance, but maybe I don't want to do the exact same thing for 4 years. That's why I'm doing super try now, or like I want to explore some new things and just become a better athlete in general. And if I make it to LA, then I'm very grateful for it, and I'm gonna try to do the best I can there. And if I don't make it, sure, part of me will be sad, but like I will not need to grieve or something. I'm just gonna try and be a good athlete and be healthy and love what I do, because I think that's the most important thing, that to keep going. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, from a sort of fan perspective, seeing whether it's like you or Jean Lahair or, you know, athletes that are every bit like capable of dictating elements of those races, seeing you guys sort of crashing out or coming out of a race like Paris is pretty devastating just to watch, let alone be in.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you hit the ground and you know, fuck. But also the first thing I thought was, I want to finish. I want to finish, and giving the circumstances, giving everything that has happened now, I want to finish as good as I can, giving the circumstances. So without my drink bottle and without the left shifter, because that was broken and the chain fell off, and yeah, that's when I got scared in the rain.
Yeah,
because it was so slippery. But because before I was biking in the peloton, that's when I got scared. But like, yeah, I just wanted to finish as good as I could. Like, you can be in pain, you can, I don't know, everything can go wrong, but still you must try and accept that rule. Except when you really injure yourself or when you feel like no, then it can be a no. But I could finish. So then you just try to do it as good as you can, given what you have.
And can you just explain, I guess, the circumstances around that incident and where it was in the race? And
yeah, so I had a very good swim, so I was very happy with that. And I was in the front group, finally biking in the peloton. Because also Martin and Jelle told me after the race that they were both looking at it and, wow, Jolle's finally biking in the peloton, just really going for it. And I was also so proud of myself. I never felt more proud, I think. Also because it was so close home and there were like people screaming. And I think after 1.5 laps, there was a corner to the left. And I think there were some athletes that slipped, and I think I tried. It all went very fast, so don't take me on my words. I didn't rewatch it. I think I tried to go past. I think it was Kirsten Kasper or an athlete that crashed anyway. But it was way too slippery to adjust my corner. So I crashed too, and I think 2 athletes also. I think we were 4 involved in our crash. And in the end, Stan rewatched it and he said, like, you might have made your corner without adjusting it. And I'm like, yeah, but I didn't know that at the moment. So yeah, I think it was just, it was very slippery, the bike course there. I'm not sure if there was oil, maybe because of all the cars in the city that maybe they allow. Was not normal. Well, was normal asphalt, but I think there was oil on it. It was very slippery. And the days before, like the reckons, I did try. So yeah, it is what it is.
It's what it is. It's what it is.
Yeah.
And I guess, given all of those circumstances and the river and the rain and so on, like, it does also put into perspective what someone like Cassandra was able to achieve there, right? And it does leave that moment of her winning that home games just all the more remarkable, really.
Yeah, I think, like, she had been so dominant also, like, that season. I think just becoming world champion and Olympic champion and did she also win the Super Tri that year? I'm not very sure.
She's only won a race, didn't she? But I don't know about this. Yeah.
Probably it's possible, but I was very impressed not only by her race in Paris, like, of course I was impressed by that, but also like by the way she could, even after becoming Olympic champion, like being able to keep racing well for the rest of the season. Because I think, like, I heard, I know before the games, like that after the games, like sometimes you have like a more difficult more difficult time mentally sometimes. And I think when it doesn't go the way you want, I can imagine. But then, especially I heard like even when you win or you do very great there, then you have the same effects. But I think
It's
you must be mentally very, very strong, like just to keep going. And yeah, I admire that in her, and not only in her, but also, for example, Beth or Taylor, like all the girls that were there, they keep going and they keep working. Even, yeah, everybody has their own story, I think, and yeah, I like being around them. I look up to them, and yeah, they're great personalities to be with.
keeping you fired up.
Yeah, also to race against them, and like that's epic. Like in the beginning when I was doing triathlon, like some of them were already in the field and you saw them on television, you know? That was the first race I did with Katie Zafiris, for example. It was like, look at her, she's racing here and I'm racing here too. Yeah, it was great. The first WTCS I could do was because Laura Duffy pulled out. And I was really sad about it because she was like superhero for me at that time. Like I really looked up to her. But I was also happy that I could race. But yeah, she wasn't there. And I remember telling the head coach and like, I hope one day I can race with her. And that, yeah, it's great.
On the streets of Paris, no less.
Yeah. Who would have known?
And so you mentioned that, like, yeah, the sort of numbers that you were doing in the trainings in the lead up to Paris now look a little bit meek and mild, do they? Like you're now hitting numbers doing sessions that a year ago would have seemed out of reach.
No, I think in the sessions maybe I will do. It's not a very big difference. Like I might be a little bit faster in some disciplines, but like, you know, sometimes you swim very well and then you run well and then you bike well. So it goes a little up and down. But especially after Paris, like what I did then, I was, I don't know, I wasn't worth a lot back then in training. So yeah, if I compare to what I did after Paris, now it's going way better. Also a side note must be that I'm not, like I try to be very good in training and I try like to do the best I can, but I'm not very often very good in training. I really try though, but there's a big difference between racing Jolien and training Jolien. As in, I really try to put in the effort and I do the best I can. And I try to, for example, run or swim with a good technique. But still, I think when you throw me in a race, something shifts in my head. And yeah.
Is it like a raw competitive instinct that you obviously just can't recreate in training?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Because, yeah, for example, in just on the run, like on races, or training, like if you in training, I can maybe run 1K at my 5K pace, and that would be a 1K max. And then you don't have to ask anything about me. Like, you cannot make me run too much at that pace. I think, like, are you crazy? I cannot do that. Yeah, because Stan, he gave me a set for tomorrow, which is great because normally we don't know the set in advance or not that much in advance, but now we do. And I seriously doubt if I can make the end of the set, but he says that yeah, I can try. I can. He's confident that I can do it, and I'm pretty confident that chances are pretty I will make it, but at least I will try. But yeah, race pace is on training is like it's not doable.
In the
I say this for a race.
in the nicest possible way, that sounds like a coach's nightmare. Then
Yeah, maybe like I once had a coach, and he said the coach before Stan, and he once said like I'm training, like you never do anything that makes me think that you're gonna be good in the race. Yeah, and it's not that bad anymore. But Stan said, and for example, he said, I never had an athlete that's so slow in training compared to what you can do in a race. So I replied, you can also look at it the other way around. Like, you never had an athlete that raced so well compared to what I show in training. And you must look at it from the right perspective.
you gotta flip the perspective.
Yeah. But I try, but I think I really love racing. Well, I don't think that I know that for sure. I really love racing, and it brings out the best.
And Istanbul ready then?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, because that's specifically why we went on this training camp. Well, not only for Istanbul, but also for the rest of the season. Just think it's good to have a solid training block now after all the races that I've done. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm, as I said, I'm very curious to race another 10K, like 10K run at the end, and also the 40K bike and the 1.5K swim. It's double as long. It's so long.
Literally double.
In the swim of an Olympic distance, I often think after a long loop, because it's often 2 laps, I think, this is so long. Now I'm having to swim. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and we will see how it goes. I think before the race, I also tried to let go of any expectation and just think about what I have to do. And, you don't always have the outcome in hand. Like, as we saw in Paris and also some other races, like unexpected things can happen. And like, you just try to make the best out of whatever you get on your plate.
Looks like quite a juicy bike course, right? Couple of steep climbs going on in there.
And like we walked the course on Google Earth. It goes a little like up, and then I'm not sure if it will be steep enough to really make a difference, though, because it's also not very, very long, I think. But yeah, hey, we're in Torremolinos, so there's a lot of climbing here. Apparently, there's only mountains around here. Dear Lord. We tried to bike flat a few days ago. We were like stuck in traffic. I think the average I had was 22 an hour at the end. Not because of the mountains, but then because I was so often stuck. Yeah, I told Stan it was a recovery ride, so it was allowed.
Speaking of recovery, I need to let you enjoy your afternoon off. Plenty of talking for now, but yeah, we wish you all the very best in Istanbul, of course, and look forward to Karlovy Vary, your next series adventure.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. As I said, it's a hard bike, and I'm not sure if that is where my talents are, but yeah, sometimes you just need to put yourself out there and try and give everything you have.
Operation career best series finish, right? This is where we're at now.
Yeah, well, sounds like a plan. I'm gonna try. If that works out, then we can do a nice chat afterwards again.
Which was last year. Where did you finish last year again?
Overall, that's a good question. I think 24, 25th. I think that's too optimistic. It will be something around that place. In the other, before this year, like previous years, I feel like I had, I wasn't very consistent yet on a WTCS level, like building through the season. And I just hope that in the next few years, I can be also a consistent athlete on a WTCS level. I think last year I was like already getting more consistent on the World Cups. So yeah, as I said, step by step.
Great stuff. All right. Well, thanks ever so much, Jolien. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for the time. Enjoy the butterflies. Thanks a lot.
For the chat. Thank you.